It's late morning. Um, but I just want to give a shout out to It's Real Rob. Again, I want to give a shout out to Avius, Samira. I want to give a shout out to Jacinta, to everybody, to the Chain Breakers podcast, to Walter Lee Hampton, to everybody. But in this video in particular, this video that I'm about to talk about, after watching Real Rob, it really got me thinking about some things. Um, Real Rob's video really got me thinking on the one that I just watched. And I'm going to try to put links to all of these people's YouTube videos and stuff, their channels in the description box below as well. But the same old, same old. Again, road to 30. Okay, today is October 11th. It is also National Coming Out Day. So I'm going to put a link to when I came out the closet and started affirming my gender 4 years ago. And like I said, I've been on this self-care journey for 4 years, healing, working on me, holding myself accountable, and counseling and therapy and checking my own BS, right? So I want to talk about this. The same old, same old. It gets old, right? Another reason why it's been a week now since I exited myself out of the past situation where I was basically dating someone for nearly 3 months. Met them back in July, like I said, nearly 3 months, and then had to go on and end that situation. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, good night. It's late, but thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to get this out while it's on my head. But the same old, it gets old, is I'm about to be 30 in 4 days. I am not 20, I am not 22, I am not 24, I am not 26, I am not 28, I'm not 18, I'm not 16, I'm not 15. I'm a grown adult. I am a grown man. A grown man. 30 years old, on my way, entering into the third decade of life. Ancestors willing, universe willing, Lord willing, society willing, right? I don't have time to be sitting up here playing these middle school, high school games. And it also got me thinking about a lot of, this is why I'm giving everybody shout outs in this video, and I'm going to have links to everybody's video that I'm talking about. It's Real Rob had a video also discussing, oh, what's going on, Pink Lady? What happened in relationship? It wasn't really a relationship. Once again, this is one of them situations where you meet somebody off of a hookup, gay dating app, whatever. I was on Grindr, hooked up with them, and then it went from, okay, this was a nice, booty call, sneaky link, to we started hanging out and actually getting to know each other and going out for drinks, getting food, going out to eat, going to the park, going to the beaches, hanging out, spending time, cuddling, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time, and I want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Westernizer as well, the whole time it really hit me that I don't have feelings for this person. And I'm already seeing the red flags. And so this is what I mean by it gets old. So shout out to It's Real Rob to kind of answer your question. Shout out to It's Real Rob. Avius Shay, Walter Lee Hampton, Samira, the Chain Breakers. We all talk about this a lot. So it gets old in the sense that I am at the point where I'm checking my own issues and recognizing I don't have any connections or feelings for these people. So it doesn't really make sense for me to be trying to continue something that has no future. Sex for me, yes, it's fun and exciting, but I need more than that for a relationship to work. If all we're going to be doing is having sex, then I'm not wasting my time with that. Also, you see the other flag. I am proudly born intersex and a trans man, transgender man. And I don't have time to be constantly being used for sex and being fetishized and sexualized. I'm constantly being fetishized and sexualized. And that's really all these gay dating apps have really shown me in my personal experience. And I'm going to have more videos like this on the giofvcks channel where I talk a little more into it. So with that being said, the same old, having that same situation reoccur where you meet somebody, they make it seem like they really want to get to know you and they like you and they want to do this and they want to do that. And then you kind of find out over time that that's a bunch of BS because A, they either never want to be seen in public with you because they're not out the closet, or because of their transphobia, they don't want to be seen or associated with a person of trans experience, a person who's intersex, etc. Or you got the people where the sex was really good. They initially came because they was just trying to, try a trans man. Because again, we're treated like a fetish. We're not treated like human beings half the damn time. Let's just keep it real. So you got that situation. And when that situation happens, then they actually like you, and then they want to, do relationship things without the responsibility and the title of a relationship. They want you to, you know what I mean? They want to overinvest. They want you to overextend. And this is what we mean by the love bombing. So it gets old. And once you have gone through that a few times and you've seen it enough, it makes it so much easier to tiptoe on out. And then two, you also got to look at yourself in the mirror, because then you also have to take accountability for why you keep putting yourself in these situations. So turning it inward back on me and taking accountability, I have to look at, well, why do I keep putting myself in these situations? Why am I even on these dating apps? Why am I on these gay hookup apps, these LGBT apps? Why am I having sex with people that I don't care about, don't know nothing about, don't really, you have nothing in common with? Like, why am I putting myself in these situations? So that's what I mean by it gets old. You got to take accountability as well. So that's what I'm doing. And ironically, this did happen because I had my procedure, and you can't have sex for anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks anyways after the surgery that I had. And then I had my post-op appointment today. And then I go back in 6 weeks for my second post-op to see if I can go back to work and, of course, other things. But that procedure kind of sparked the involuntary, abstinence from sex and celibacy, right? But as I started just reading and just really focusing on why do I keep putting myself in these situations? Why am I doing this? What's really going on? Then I, got back in touch with my therapist. Both of them had sessions. And then it just really started hitting me. Then I'm looking at these videos of what other people are talking about and their experiences. And then it's just, for me, it's synchronicity. Things are just lining up. Things are aligning. I just feel like these messages are just like here. So I personally am going to be celibate for a while, even after the 8 to 12 weeks, or in 6 weeks when I go and see my doctor again. I'm going to be celibate for a while. I'm going into my 30s celibate. I'm abstaining from sex with other people. Because let's be real, I'm still going to masturbate. You feel me? I'm still going to masturbate, babies. And that's another thing. What's dope about also abstaining from sex from other people is also the fact that you do get to learn how to please yourself and what you like and what you don't like. So whenever you do decide to go back to having sex, if you ever decide to do that, you'll be able to better guide your future partners and let them know, like, look, that doesn't turn me on. And then speaking from another personal standpoint of it gets old, another reason why I'm doing this, abstaining from sex with other people and just being celibate and sticking to myself and for a minute, is also because, like I said, as a person of trans experience, intersex, transgender man, he, him, his, trans masculine, gay, queer, and like I said, if the vibe is right and I have a genuine connection with the person, I could be pan. It just depends. Um, I've never had a long lasting relationship. Never. Never been in a relationship. If I'm going to be honest, there was never titles or commitments in any of these situations. The longest situationship was 7 months. Yes, really. But I'm doing the celibacy and taking a step back also because I'm tired of being fetishized. Again, I want to meet somebody that actually wants to get to know me for me and not just have everything based off with sex. Shout out to Mr. Westernizer. We were talking about this the other night where when sex is in the mix, things get clouded and it's like, and especially if it's good sex, you'll just be going back and forth to a person you don't care about. There's no future in this. This is a waste of time. And a lot of times, I'm going to keep it real. When I was doing it, when I have done it, it was more so to fill a void. You know what I mean? So it's like, because I don't want to do the inner work on me, I'm using sex as a coping mechanism, to kind of escape reality, get a quick nut or orgasm, feel good for like 5-10 minutes, and then after the sex act is over with, I'm just left empty, lonely, and kind of like, what was the point of this? So, and then like I said, I'm constantly being used for sex. Like I said, I can only speak from my experience, but I know a lot. I also know a lot of other people within the trans community, within the LGBTQ plus community, who can relate. And I'm sure there's cisgendered heterosexual people who also can relate. You feel me? Um, you get tired of that. People only really want to talk to you because they're trying to screw you. Meanwhile, you are the dirty little secret, the sneaky link, the booty call, and then too, I also feel like it not only does it cloud judgment, like shout out to Mr. Westernizer, but I also feel like when you're in this healing, for me, on a personal level, in this healing process that I've been in for 4 years, over 4 years, it's a knock to my self esteem because then it's like I feel like, well, damn, I'm only good for sex. So it's like, no, and like I said, it gets old. It gets old. I did it for 3 years. I participated in hookup culture for 3 years. Um, and I can say that there were some fun times, there was some good sex moments, but overall, if I was to um rank it on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being amazing and 0 being what the hell, this sucks, it was like a 3. It was a 3. It was like a solid 3. So for me. Now, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know for me, I can't do hookup culture anymore. I'm over it. May I ask, is it hard dating in the gay community or is it different for each person? I feel like it's different for each person. I feel like for cisgendered gay folks or for cisgendered gay men, they probably have a easier process in the gay community than gay trans men, or bi trans men. Just being trans alone, you get treated like shit half the damn time, or you're constantly fetishized and sexualized and disrespected within the community, even though everybody's supposed to be the LGBTQ plus, but really it seems to be mostly cis gays and lesbians, and then everybody else gets like second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, citizenship, even within the damn community. Make it make sense. That's all I'm gonna say. How you gonna complain about what the cis-hets do to you, but then you turn around and treat other people in your own community the same way? And mind you, this ain't nothing new. Every marginalized group seems to do this. Um, so cisgendered is when you are assigned the birth, you're like, for example, if you identify as a woman, you were assigned female at birth, and you also identify with that gender as being a woman, then you're considered cisgendered. Me, I was born intersex, so I was never male or female. So that's another thing. Like, people can literally be born intersex, and people keep forgetting that, like, we didn't ask to be born intersex, yet we get treated like shit. And it's like, okay. But that's a whole nother video, and that's not what this is about tonight. So anyways, so the next part of this, of recognizing that it just gets old and it's tired and played out, is that I am getting older, and I'm not trying to repeat the same things that I went through years ago. I don't really want to repeat my 20s. I'm sorry, but that I don't need to repeat. I'm just going to keep it a buck. I don't need to repeat my 20s. And that's what I mean by, me taking accountability and taking ownership. Like, okay, how many times are we going to go through this before you actually do something to change that, to prevent that? When do you actually learn the lesson? And that's where I'm at with that. I also want to give a shout out to Walter Lee Hampton the second, because I've been watching his videos before I even came out the closet. I was watching his videos in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. And Walter Lee Hampton has been making videos, and a lot of people see him as a controversial. I mean, he does say controversial things, and I don't agree with everything that he says. I don't think you should agree with everything I say. Again, there's certain things that I just don't get, but I do appreciate some of his commentary. And some of the commentary that he's been consistently saying for years, okay, we talking 10 years in the game, this man has been consistent on this message, is within the LGBT community. There's a lot of push just to have sex, and everything is evolved around sex. And then in the same breath, when STDs and STIs come up, everybody looking like they don't know where it came from, how they caught it, how you can treat it. Oh my goodness, I didn't know this could happen to me. And that's also with cisgendered heterosexual people. And then especially with cisgendered heterosexual people, y'all looking around like, well, how this kid come, how you get pregnant? I didn't plan for this. Again, if everything is 24/7 only going to be about sex, and then nobody's teaching us about comprehensive sexual education so you can actually protect yourself. You can know about condoms and birth control and IUDs and the shots and the vasectomies and the hysterectomies. You can know about how to get treated and the importance of getting tested. And we can talk, and then like Walter Lee Hampton said, we can talk all day about sex positivity. Sex positivity is great, but sex positivity is on a spectrum. It isn't just about having a bunch of random hookups and that's it. Okay? It's okay. And if you like having random hookups, more power to you. But that's on this side of the spectrum. There's also the other side of the spectrum of sex positivity, where guess what? People are celibate. People are abstaining from sex. People are having intentional sexual interactions and not just doing hookups. And I'm going to say this, it's okay for people who are monogamous and want committed relationships with only one person. It's okay for people who want to be polyamorous or non-monogamous, but that's just it. It's a spectrum. And I hate how with these topics, it's like we only highlight one side of the spectrum and then we act like the other side doesn't exist, or that people aren't also doing something different. And it's like, Everybody don't got to be doing the same thing. So I can speak, for me, I did have the hookup or the hoe phase. I had my hookups, I had my fun. I waited to be held 26, damn near 27 years old to have consensual sex as an adult. I was late, late to the game. And I also feel like because I was older, even though I was participating and I was having a good time at the beginning with the hookup culture and just being free and doing me, but because I was older, I made better choices within the hookup. And what I mean by that is I was on PrEP. I'm still on PrEP. Pro-exposure prophylaxis, condoms. At the time, had an IUD implanted. So I was very taking as many harm reduction methods that I could take to protect myself, and then getting tested on a regular basis. Well, now that I'm practicing celibacy, and I ain't been doing it that long. I mean, let's just keep it real. It's only been 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and like today is Tuesday. So like 2 weeks in a day. Basically. You might as well just say 2 weeks. But now that I'm practicing celibacy, another thing that I'm realizing is I don't have to be worrying about getting tested back and forth because I'm not having sex. I don't have to worry about having the scares of thinking I might have contracted something. Well, I never have to worry about kids again, so that was, but still, don't have to worry about unwanted pregnancies and unnecessary mess. Don't have to worry about getting my emotions mixed up in it too, because people can deny all they want. Some of us obviously are catching feelings, or as people say, transferring energies when we're having sex. Okay, everybody's not, I just F these hoes and I just F these niggas and I just F these people and I go on and I act like I don't care. Everybody's not like that. And then a lot of people are literally acting because in reality, they're caring. Okay, when you look at the behaviors that a lot of us participate in, you obviously are caring about who you sleeping with, even though you try to make it seem like it's F these hoes, F these niggas, money over bitches, blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, you sitting up here all on Facebook making statuses about how somebody did you dirty, but it's F these hoes. Okay, obviously it's more than that. And then my cousin found out a month ago, she got herpes dating Dusty. I am so sorry about your cousin. And I'm also going to say this. I apologize to your cousin, sending love and support to your cousin. And I also want to say herpes is very common. I mean, it's a very common sexually transmitted disease. And the good thing, I know this is going to sound crazy, but the good thing about herpes is that unless you're having an active outbreak, you can't transmit it to other people. Unless you're having an active outbreak. Which is another reason why it is so important that when you're having sex with people, you need to actually be looking at their genitalia. Looking at their anuses, their genitalia, their mouths. You need to be looking for any type of bumps, blisters, any type of discharge, any odd smell, etc. Which brings me to my next point. Why are we having sex with the lights off? Because if you think about it, if the lights are off, how you gonna see any potential red flags that somebody might have an STD or an STI? And if the person gets on Valtrex, it's a daily pill that people who are living with herpes can take. It'll keep so they don't have as many outbreaks. And then also there's a lot of people who have herpes and they don't have any symptoms, so they're asymptomatic, and so they will just carry the herpes virus and it'll just lay dormant. It'll just lay dormant in them, but they can potentially still pass it off to others. So that's why, again, we talk about hookup culture, but there's no comprehensive education on sex and health and how to protect ourselves. And then we also don't have universal health care. So even if people were to go and want to get tested, a lot of times if you don't have health insurance, how you gonna get tested? And then if you do get tested and you find out that you have something, how you gonna get it treated if you don't have health insurance? So it's like so many things that need to be addressed. But sending love and support to your cousin, and I really hate the fact that that happened. Um, Al Smith, yeah, I'm proudly gay, queer. I'm not ashamed of that, you know. But yes, and I agree. Look at the body downstairs. Yes, and that's why I be thinking like, why? Now that I'm looking back at my own behaviors, I'm like, mm, the lights need to be on. We need to see what we're doing here. Um, but yeah, and then with the dusty again, some people legitimately don't even know they have these STDs, STIs because they're asymptomatic, and then there are also people who know that they have what they have, and they willingly go out here and transmit these infections and diseases, just like they willingly go out here and ejaculate in people and get people pregnant and then act like they don't know who the baby daddy is when you know you ejaculated in that person. Like, come on, y'all. It's people out here that they don't care. They don't care about themselves and they don't care about others. And they project that mess. And then like you end up being collateral damage because you got hooked up with somebody that didn't give a damn. And it's unfortunate. My cousin said to me the other day she wished she was dead. She feels she will never get a husband. I told her to pray. Sending her love. She can still get a husband, a boyfriend, a partner, a significant other. Again, herpes unfortunately is like one of the most common STDs. Like if there's 10 people in a room, 4 to 5 have herpes. That's just how common it is. And again, unless a person has an active outbreak, they can't really transmit it. Um, and this is again why people need to have healthcare insurance. If everybody who had herpes was taking Valtrex and actually monitoring what was going on with them, and then also if we didn't live in a society that was just always shaming people for things that unfortunately they're just common situations. You know, if you're having sex, you're bound to have potentially be putting yourself at risk for an STI, STD. I'm just going to be honest. So yes, and herpes is very common. Very. I'm gonna say this: if you meet somebody and they have a cold sore is a form of herpes. It's from the same herpes simplex virus. So somebody with a cold sore, if they're giving you oral sex, can potentially give you herpes, genital herpes, from a cold sore. So that's why I'm saying you gotta be mindful of all of that, you know. And that's why I send in her love and healing, but she will heal and be able to date and meet people. Because a lot of people have herpes. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's common. It's not. I'm not saying that to like justify, people not being, but it's a common situation. What's going on, Dangerous League? Good morning. You're on here late, early. Just got off work a while ago. Good morning. Good morning. How was work? I hope you had a good night at work. Yes. I'm up late, early because I've been in this recovery zone. Can't really do much. So you basically sleeping all day. Um, Taking it easy. I had my post-op appointment today or yesterday. And they told me that I can go up and down stairs again. I can do laundry, but take it easy. Don't like do too much rushing and bending. Still can't do a lot of overexertion. And then I gotta wait 6 more weeks to go back to the second post-op appointment. And if that clears, then I can be able to go back to work and do other stuff. But right now it's just healing, and you sleep and sleep, and then when you be taking these naps, you take a nap and it'll mess up your whole night's sleep. Because I'll call myself taking a nap after I got back home, and I woke up an hour ago maybe. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean by you cannot be taking them naps will mess up your whole night. That's why I be trying to tell myself, don't do a nap, just go to sleep at night. Because you're going to be up early and you're going to be upset. But yeah, so that was my whole point. Again, with that is that it gets old. It gets old, and you don't want to be repeating these lessons over and over. You know, especially when you've already gone through them numerous times. At this point, for me, I feel like I'm playing myself. I'm playing myself, and I'm being stupid at this point because I've already done this over and over and over again. You know, it gets old. So for me, that's that, and I'm just glad that here I am, and it's just wild seeing how I react to stuff now versus to how I reacted 4 years ago, because it's been a week since I ended that situation, and I feel great because I'm like, wow, I'm getting better, and I've been ending situations a lot. Like 4 years ago, I would have continued to be talking to this person and putting up with this BS. Okay. The past 2 years, the minute I see red flags and things ain't adding up and they're not consistent, and I just feel like this is draining and I'm not getting what I need out of this, I end it. I don't go back and forth with where 4 years ago I would have wasted another 3, 4, 5, however long months. You know what I mean? And then you wonder why you get hurt. You wonder why things don't work out. Stop ignoring the red flag. You feel me? So now I done got good at that because I'm like, oh no. I'm not playing relationships with people that I'm not in relationships with. I'm not doing that. We not playing house. Like I said, we not 5 years old on the playground playing house and eating mud pies. We grown. We grown. If you want to go back to your ex, go back to your ex. And also, Pink Lady, because you brought this up. I do agree. I think it is triangulation. Because I notice, first of all, there's so, going back to what you said. Oh, thank you, Pink Lady. True, take red flag serious. Yes, take them serious. And when you had asked, I think this was Saturday or Sunday, you had asked, do you think that you were being triangulated? Whew, that's a good hit. I honestly do think I was. And I probably will do another live stream or a video where I sit down and talk about why I think I was being triangulated in detail. Because what I've noticed, when people that you're supposedly talking or dating or whatever, in a relationship, whatever, when people that you're doing that with start bringing up, David, Alejandro, Samantha, Erica, all of these people from their past out of the blue, and it's back to back, back to back. Of course, in my case, the entire time this person was talking about their exes, but like over the leading up to last Monday, when I had to just tell them, like, look, I'm giving you space. Obviously, you need to kind of figure you out and or get back with your exes because I don't have time for this. Leading up to that, I had noticed over the last week or two how the person was just constantly talking about, if it's not the ex from last year that you left St. Louis for and came back to Michigan for, then it turned into the ex from 2014, and it just kept happening. And every time you turn around, there's a new scenario about this, and then because a lot of times they're telling you, again, when you're, in my opinion, if you're dealing with somebody who's narcissistic or manipulative or potentially covert narc, they'll tell on themselves. They're literally telling you who they're talking to and who they're cheating on you with, or they're literally kind of involuntarily letting you know that, yes, I'm talking back to my ex. Or yes, I went back to my old supply. Or yes, I'm talking to other people. Which again, I'm non-monogamous. So I don't care if you're talking to other people because I'm talking to other people. The point is, why are you lying? Why are you not just keeping it real? We are grown, and that's my whole thing. I don't have time for that. I just don't have time. Yes, and they will throw themselves under the bus. Exactly. They're sitting up there, but see what it is. You are right. Pink lady, you are right. They will throw themselves under the bus. And what be cracking me up about it is the fact that they think that the way that they're talking about it, like this was back in the day when really this is currently happening, they use all of this manipulative tactics to get you thinking, oh, this was the ex from back then. Meanwhile, they're still talking to their exes. That's another thing that I've noticed. And when I say this, some people are able to be friends with their exes and keep it at that. But I've noticed in my experience, when I'm dealing with the past toxic situations that I dealt with, they all were friends with their exes or still in deep contact with their exes. And this kind of goes back to what they mean by the narcissistic harem. Like they would just keep old supplies, old people that they were used to be with, that they also discarded and treated like trash, but yet they can keep coming back like a damn merry-go-round to all of these ex people. And then they use all of these different people at any given time to try to make you jealous and or, like you had mentioned, triangulate you into some shit. They don't think you're paying attention, right? And I'm just sitting here like, dude, I done been through the ringer a few times already. I know how this story goes. So while he's texting and telling me all this shit, I'm already in the back of my mind like, yeah, this is not gonna work out. And mind you, this wasn't the first red flag. Was not the first red flag. So that's why and then like I said, I didn't have any and then looking back, I had no real feelings. And I'm tired of wasted time. I want stuff to be intentional. This just being with somebody to be with somebody, I can't do that anymore. It's no longer, I don't have an interest in it. And then two, it's draining. Oh my God. It's like when you're with these types of people, it is very, very draining. Because it's like they want to talk all day, they want to text all day, they want to constantly see you, but in the same breath, they don't want a committed relationship, they don't want a title, but they want all of this relationship, committed type relationship behaviors and actions from you. But then they don't want to be responsible for the actual relationship, which is why they don't want the relationship, which is also why they don't want the title. But then they want you to act like y'all are something more than what you are. And then you end up gaslighting yourself. You end up playing yourself. That's why I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't have time. Arrivederci. Adios. I'll see you later because it's just not going to work out. I can't. Like I said, I'm not 25. I'm not 26. I'm about to be 30. And the out cold part is this person is 32, about to be 33. Older than me and still acting like this. So that's why I be saying it don't matter what age. These people be 30s, 40s, 50s, year old and up and still behaving the same dysfunctional, toxic, narcissistic, self-centered, manipulative ass behavior. So this is another reason why I think taking sex out of the equation will help weave out trash. I'm gonna just keep it real. Especially if you are a person that's constantly being sexualized or fetishized. If you remove sex, in my opinion, if you remove sex from the equation, you'll stop running into people that's only there to have sex with you. It'll at least help you reduce the number. Because obviously somebody that's just trying to, for the most part, they're not going to waste, I'm not going to say waste, but they're not going to spend months talking to somebody unless they know they're finna get it in. So, now granted, you do have toxic people that will wait your ass out. They will wait that little 90-day rule that you got set up. You got people who are like that. And then you got people who really, well, I can't get it, whatever. It's you know, booty everywhere, penis everywhere, vagina everywhere, mouth everywhere. And it's the truth. Sex is everywhere. So people really don't have to wait. So if you meet somebody that's truly waiting or actually isn't pressuring you to have sex and actually just wants to get to know you, that's a green flag, because that's a rarity in today. and then my thing is this: I'm non-monogamous. So I'm not tripping if you go and have sex with other people. Just know that I'm celibate and I'm not having sex with you. That's all I'm saying. Right? Because again, I'm at this stage in my life where for me love is free, as in it's free. I'm not going to be trying to trap you. You're not trapping me. I'm not trying to control you. You're not controlling me. You know, what I seek is somebody that actually cares about me and my well-being, a potential main partner that could potentially lead to a committed relationship, or like I said, a main partner. And I don't want the relationship to all be about sex. And yeah, I'm on a different mood here. I don't have time to just be bouncing and bouncing. I did it for 3 years. I experienced it. Like I said, if I was to rate it on a scale of 0 to 10, I'm giving it a solid 3. Because ultimately, it left me feeling empty, lonely. Sometimes it was really nice. Sometimes it was a really good session. Let's just keep it real. Sometimes it was good. You feel me? But none of these things ever led to anything serious, where it was reciprocated, where I felt like the person cared about me and my well-being, and not just because we're having sex. You feel me? So I didn't get what I needed out of that. So, but I recognized that, okay, I needed, in my opinion, I needed to experience my whole phase. Because I do think once you get over that whole phase, you're mature. And I'm not going to say that you're not mature because you have hookup culture. But from my personal opinion, to me it is kind of showing a sign of immaturity. I'm gonna just keep it real, because once you have that whole phase, and it's the truth, because I'm looking at myself and I look at other people who have gone through the same thing. Once you have that whole phase, you realize sex is not that important, and it really is overrated, because you can have sex with all of these people, or you can have all these people in your DMs constantly trying to get on. But in the end of the day, do you have somebody that actually cares about you? I'll wait. When you get sick, you need somebody to help you. Do you have somebody that can take care of you and help you around? You got somebody that can cook you meals? Or it's your birthday. You got a promotion. You opened your business. You have anybody that you can celebrate your wins with? Okay. You got anybody you can share your happiness and joy with? You got a shoulder that you can cry on? Okay. So that's my whole point. Yeah, you can have everybody in your DMs, but what's the point if you are lonely as hell? You're not happy. So that's where I'm at. Like, okay, I don't care about being told, you know, on these hookup apps and these dating apps, because it's fake. I look, what Mary J. Blige say? Real love, yes, yes. I'm searching for a real love, and that's where I'm at. Like, really, at 30, that's where I'm at. Like, Nobody got time. And then I also feel like it's maturity. Like, to me, immature me was excited about having sex with multiple people and not being connected to anybody. Immature me was focused on they gotta have a six pack or they gotta have this, they gotta have that. And then you realize none of that shit really means anything. Okay, because I done been with people with six packs that ain't about shit, and I done been with people that are what you would consider fat or obese or big boned or whatever, and they were a lot better. They actually treated you like they cared and actually wanted to see you win and thrive. I done been with people that were rich, that were just as stingy and selfish and condescending and looking down on people and just horrible. Oh my God. So someone just sent me. And see, this is another reason why once you end the lie, you gotta block them on everything. That's another thing. Once you end the situation, I'm gonna end this here. Once you end the situation, you need to block them on everything because they will find different ways to contact you. You got people who will Cash App you, Venmo you, PayPal you, Google Pay you, Apple Pay you money. You done blocked them on everything, but somehow they decided to send you money with a note talking about some unblock me or I miss you. And it'd be crazy shit, or they'll send you an email. They'll find a way to get in touch. That's all I'm saying. So that's why it's really important that once you're done, you cut off complete contact. Now, obviously, those of you who have children with these people, you're probably going to have to do like hybrid no contact, where basically you only talk about the children. If it doesn't involve the children, then y'all don't have any conversation. You know, things like that to protect your own mental health and well-being. But if you don't have anything that ties you to them, go completely no contact. I'm going to just keep it real. Because what you're going to be doing, you probably going to find out that the exes that they were talking to you about is who they're actually with now. And you look stupid trying to go back to something like that, in my opinion. Trust me. Been there, done it, not doing it again. So you look stupid at the end of the day doing that. But we all look stupid. You know, I was stupid, have been stupid many a days, many a times. But now I'm learning. So, anyways, I just want to do this real quick to talk about that. And thank you all for tuning in this early, this late, and sharing your thoughts. And yeah, it's like, it gets old. It really does. It gets played out. That's the best way to put it. It's like, shit, I've been doing this, you know, that immaturity mindset or that young, childish mindset that I had. I had that mindset since I was like 13, 14. So at 30, it should evolve. You shouldn't be doing the same shit that you were doing at 15 at 30, at 20 at 30, okay? 25 at 30. Somewhere down the line, you need to grow up. And I think a lot of us have a hard time with accepting that. You know, this is why, I'm going to be honest. This is, and people going to get mad at me, but I'm going to keep it real. This is why you still got 40 and 50-year-old men walking around sagging. This is why you got 40 and 50-year-old men still talking about F those bitches, F those hoes. As old as you are, that's the conversation that you're still having. Grow up. Okay? And I'm going to say this. It's the same thing with the women. This is why you got grandmothers that have decided they can't never spend time with their grandchildren, but they can be at the club all damn day. Grow up. I'm not saying that you can't have fun just because you're older, but look at the behaviors that some of our so-called elders are participating in and ask yourself, is that somebody that's actually mature? Is that somebody that's actually wise? Is that somebody that's actually healed? And that's real, because why are you still doing the same stupid shit that you was doing in 2005 and you doing that in 2022? So for me in 2005, I was 2005 right now, like October 11th, 2005, I was in 8th grade. So why would I still want to be having the same mindset of a 12-year-old soon to be 13, because my birthday is October 15th? Why would I want to still have that mindset at 30? Because when you look at, I'm just being real, when you look at some of the behaviors that some of us are participating in and some of our elders are participating in, it is kind of like, okay, like I said, you 50 years old still talking about fuck hoes, get money. Think about it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And then two, you've been saying you 50. So that means more than likely you've been saying the same shit for 20, 30 years. And obviously, a lot of times you ain't getting money and you don't have nobody. So you bitter, you angry, you mad, you lonely, you sad. And that's why you still saying fuck hoes, get money at 50. Let's just keep it real. People don't want to heal. People don't want to be vulnerable and don't want to keep it real about how things really are. And see, I don't want to be 30 still talking about, yeah, well, I just got played again, and well, that person broke my heart, and I spent 7 months thinking I was building something with this one, and well, this one gave me blah blah blah, and well, they lied. Well, I found out that they had a wife, or I found out that I was just a booty call again. I don't want to be doing that over and over again. So it's like, again, you grow up. It gets old. You know, but I get it. Everybody, and when I say this, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Lord knows, because like, I have made mistakes. I will probably continue to have mistakes because I'm human. But I'm really taking the action. Like, I'm celibate in a discussion. I'm about to be doing a lot of different things. Because it's old. You know, I've done it. I've seen that it doesn't really work for me. It doesn't bring me joy, happiness, peace. I'm still lonely, sad, you know, feeling used. And yeah, it's just like, I don't need to do that. So I have my experience, you know what I mean? I experienced it. I saw what it could potentially be and what it offered and what I didn't get. And now I'm done. It gets old. Y'all have a good night, a good morning. Happy National Coming Out Day for everybody out there. It is LGBTQ History Month. Also, happy belated Indigenous Peoples Day. And if we had universal health care, we would have more access to helping people fight breast cancer and all cancers for that matter. You know, if you support finding the cure to breast cancer, then you should also support universal health care so everybody could actually have health care so they can get those mammograms and all those different screenings and get that preventative care. And then if they do have cancer, they would catch it right then and there in the early stages and start that treatment process. But we need universal health care to make that a reality, you know. But y'all be safe, and it's flu season, it's everything else. So you know me, I'm gonna recommend it. You don't gotta do it because it's free will, and a lot of people are doing what they want to do. But I still suggest and recommend people get their vaccines. I already got my flu shot and my third booster for the COVID, and I continue to wear my mask, and I do a lot of quarantining. And then when I do things, I like to do things outside. And if you are inside, get you an air purifier. I got one right. Let's put this on. Get you an air purifier. That you can get them, like the one that I got in here is up to 255 square feet because it's just in the bedroom. But they got bigger ones for the rest of your house. If you have larger spaces, you can get 750 square feet, 1,200 square feet, whatever it may be. But I recommend getting an air purifier. That way, if you are inside of an enclosed space, your air can get purified, which means less amount of what? COVID and other bacterias and allergens and pollutions will get pulled out of the airspace, which would make it where less people would contract COVID. But anyways, wear a mask, all those good things. Wash your hands, wash your ass, be hygienically sound. But these are just suggestions and recommendations. At the end of the day, free will. People gonna do what they want to do. But I know what I'm doing. I'm taking them harm reduction methods, and I'm gonna journal this celibacy stuff too, cause like the therapist, I was talking to them, and they're really big on you need to get back to writing your feelings. Yes, you can do video diaries, but it's something about that writing it down. And even if you're not writing a whole sentence, even if it's just words or like drawing of how you feel, document it. But like when you're moving your hand, they were just going over all of this stuff, and I was like, you're right. I do need to write more instead of just doing videos, and then I do need to really think how I feel out, which is why I did the journaling. So I'm gonna get back into doing that. But yes, so y'all have a good day, a good night, a good morning, and again, we don't have to repeat the same cycles. We can learn from our mistakes, learn the lesson, and improve upon our lives. And yeah, it gets old. I'm out.